Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we have with me Karan. He is working as a Salesforce success engineer, and I requested him to join this podcast so that we spread awareness about this role, who should be joining for this role, and how they should prepare for this role, what they should be expecting, and couple of pros and cons and common myths about this role we have seen in the market. I keep on getting a lot of inbox messages from different candidates, and they ask a lot of questions about this role. And recently, we have seen that Salesforce is hiring a lot for this role. So, thank you so much, Karan, for joining. And maybe you can quickly introduce yourself, and then we will start the question and answers. Over
Yeah,
to-
Mohit, thank you so much for inviting me to this podcast. It's really my pleasure to, get a part of, to interact with you and get connected with you. And first of all, I would like to appreciate you a lot because whatever you are doing for Salesforce community through LinkedIn, through your YouTube videos, you are creating a lot of technical content, interview preparation videos, which is helping a lot of candidates to clear the interview, to assess themselves that where they are going wrong, and what kind of things interviewer does expects in any Salesforce developer role interview according to the 2 years experience, or let's say 3 years experience. So kudos to you, Mohit, and thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. Because the main reason why we are doing this video, guys, is because we want to spread awareness about this role. There are so many myths spread across industry about this role. Developers ask me whether this role is for them or not. Admins ask me whether this role is for them or not. Or is it a good role? What will be the learning there? And I have interacted with so many success engineers, and I always find them very much knowledgeable about debugging and problem solving, and that is a very essential skill you need to have in order to work in this industry, and be it a admin or a developer or an architect. Problem solving or debugging an issue is really very important. So we'll be starting couple of questions, and we have a list of common questions we get on our inboxes related to this role, and we'll try to solve as many as we can. But if in case we are not able to address something and you have any question, feel free to comment on the video or ping us in the LinkedIn. I'm going to put the handle of for Karan as well as mine, and you can directly message us, and we'll try to address as much as we can. So the first question, Karan, is how difficult or how different this role is from other uh, service-based support projects. So many of us have experience in working on a support project. We have worked for some service-based organization, and there we have support projects as well. So how different this support role is from that, and how much of the support part there versus how much is the development part there in this role?
Yeah, so Mohit, I missed to introduce myself, so first I'll do it with that. My name is Karan Bilakhiya. I completed my graduation in 2020. Since then, I was working as a Salesforce developer at Persistent Systems. I joined there as a fresher. I worked there for 2 years, post which I joined Salesforce as a technical support engineer in January 2023. So it's been almost 18 months now. I've completed in this organization in this particular role. So yeah, so coming to your question, Mohit, how is this particular role different than the support role which is offered to freshers or anyone who joins in a support project? Is it is completely different. I'll say that though the I'll like to clear one thing that the developer success engineer or technical support engineer, this all both of them are just different titles, but the roles and responsibilities are same. So now coming to your question that how this particular role is different than what is being offered in support projects is like what happens in any normal support project is that already the thing is already developed. The project is already go live. There are certain issues which comes after go live. You just have to identify them as a support person, and you have to try to fix them if it is something on your end, small bug fixes on all those things. Otherwise it is going if it is a feature change, then it is mostly going to development team. So now coming to this particular role, this role is though the title appears very similar, but this is completely different. There's one thing that if I talk about a life of a technical support engineer or a developer success engineer role, So it is like, as you know, that Salesforce is a widely used CRM, and it is being used in various industry areas. For example, there are many banking institutions, BFSI accounts are there, or there are many educational sites which are using Salesforce for their leads generation or for sales tracking and all those things. So let's say that you are working on XYZ project in any company, and that particular company has purchased, along with the licenses which the company purchases, but they have also purchased a Salesforce Premier Support Plan. Let's say, as a part of Premier Support Plan, there are many offerings which come. You can log a case with Salesforce. So as a part of this role, you will be the person who will be the point of contact as soon as they reach out to Salesforce. For example, at I'm working in a XYZ project, I have a batch class which is developed, and let's say that you are a technical support engineer, and let's say that one fine day, the batch class which I've developed is not working, or the records which were supposed to be updated by that batch class are not updated. Then what I'll do, that I did everything for mine, but I'm not able to figure out that why this issue is there. I'll log a case with Salesforce. I will give the this is my org ID, this is my all the things are there. And as a technical support engineer, my responsibility will be to take ownership of that case as soon as it is logged with us, and guide you on a technical, I mean, review your batch class, whatever you have written, try to debug it, what is the issue happening over there, and take the accountability of your particular case from end to end. From the time you have logged the case to follow up with you or give you any updates if there are on that particular case, it is my responsibility to ensure that you are out of impact, and you get into the root cause of the issue for which you logged the case.
Yeah. Yes, we normally go to Salesforce only when we are done our debugging, and I'm very sure that this must be a very challenging role because most of the time when we raise a case with Salesforce, we are done our own debugging. So this when it is our beyond our control, then only we go to Salesforce. There are a couple of challenges I normally hear when I talk about this role. Like this is there are different shifts we have. Plus, you'll have to work across the globe. So on different types of time zones you might be working, and you might get a lot of cases and could be very hectic. So people sometimes message me that they have got the offer, but they are afraid whether they should join or this role or not. So my question is, who should consider joining for this role, and what should be their mindset if they are planning to join this role?
Yeah, so Mohit, I'll say that at the time when I also had the offer for this particular role, I also had offers from other service-based and companies, and some other companies as well, which were giving me a Salesforce developer role. Okay, so and this I was having this offer as well. So, what should be the mindset? First, I'll share. There are two, three things over here which we need to consider, that who should join this role and who should not join. I mean, who should avoid joining this role. So along with the what things which I shared in past, in my last question, this role also offers you to get into the, if you are someone who is always interested and who always has the objective of going into either a leadership role in future, or who is always interested in a, who is looking for a role which is a blend of technical skills along with that business skills as well. I have business skills, I meant to say the communication skills, collaborative skills, and also knowing the business part of the thing. So you will always be in a technical environment over here. You will work on the cases, but you will work with a lot of new product topics which are generating, like Copilot is there, packaging is there. That along with that, there are along LWS is there, Lightning Web Security. Then there are many new product areas which are getting developed. SSO is there, mobile troubleshooting is there. So if you are someone who is okay with that particular thing, that I'm someone that who is aspiring to get into a technical plus managerial role in my future, then the path for that particular thing will go this role. This role will along with, I mean, though it is not a part of your roles and responsibilities which is mentioned, but there are a lot of things will you will get many opportunities which will, test your collaborative skills over here, which will test your communication skills over here, which your success in this particular role will depend upon how good you are able to communicate, how good you are able to articulate, how good you are able to manage the things which are there in your bucket. And if you are someone who is completely into coding, who cannot imagine like मैं तो सो ही नहीं सकता हूँ कोड करे बिना, then probably you should avoid getting into this. But if
Yeah,
you are someone that who is okay with all these things, then yeah, then you should go for it. And if you are you like Salesforce as a platform, you like learning new features which are coming on the platform, you like to debug things, then yeah, you should consider going for it. Along with that, you also mentioned about the shift. So yeah, once you join the organization, they do take consent from you during the interview itself, that are you working with are you okay working with any of the shift which is offered to you. I was fortunate that I got standard timings only, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., but this is not the case with everyone. You might have to work in EMEA time zone, which is 12 to 9. You might have to work in PST time zones, which is 8:30 to 4:30, or you might have to work in APEC as well, which is I think so 5 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. IST time zone. So yeah, that is.
yeah, I have few students and they are working on different shifts, so we keep on talking about that. And
Shift will not be rotating. It will be one shift only. Once you are assigned a shift, unless and until there is no such business requirement that they will not move you. But yeah, they will, once a shift is allotted to them, then you that is, it is really very difficult to justify it and say that I am not interested to work in this shift, or it is not suiting me,
yeah,
and
yeah,
all those things. There are perks associated with each shift as well. They do give shift allowance and cap facilities as well, those who are working in shifts. But yeah, I mean, you should always assess first whether you are okay to work. It should not create health issues for you, right? Health is
good
first
point.
priority.
Yeah, thanks. This is very helpful for those who have questions about shift. And regarding the Salesforce and coding, I also tell the same thing to everybody that Salesforce is not about coding. It's about solving a business problem. And this is not a code heavy platform, to be very frank, but if your intention is to always become a developer only and remain on that path and you do not want to work on that, then you should avoid. Otherwise, this is a very good role which has a lot of learning. Like, consider yourself joining this role, and in a year and a half you will learn so many things which otherwise you will not be able to learn in 3 4 years, because you will not get those set of problems in your generic role. So I I definitely think that this is a very good role which has a lot of learning. And
Correct.
now coming to just one more question I'll ask. So because we talk about interviews a lot, how difficult is the interview for this role? You are also taking couple of interviews for this role. I know that. How one should prepare for this role? Like from the Salesforce has huge topic set. Like if we start learning from the base and cover all the topics, it will take a lot of time. So if there are set of topics you can recommend which are very important from the interview point of view, that will be very beneficial for the audience who are preparing for this.
Yeah, so normally whenever we, I mean, apply for any Salesforce developer role, we mostly prepare. I mean, we make sure that we have good hands-on trigger. We have good hands-on Apex programming trigger. Along with that, we know at least LWC, Aura, or Visual Force, at least one of the front-end frameworks. LWC is very trending nowadays, so it is more being preferred. Along with that, we more focus on asynchronous Apex, governor limits. So all the things which you normally you do prepare yourself whenever you are giving any Salesforce developer interview role. So all the same things are there. Along with that, few add-on which we do consider is that debugging and troubleshooting skills. For example, you may get a scenario like any again, this is not any recommendation or any the question which is being asked, but yeah, we do get any scenario like, for example, if your page is loading slowly, what kind of approach you will use to troubleshoot that why my page is loading slowly, or if the batch class, if you are designing a batch class, then what all things you will consider, what will be the best practices that you will ensure before you are writing any trigger. So we do focus on, I mean, as a part of interview, when I gave at that time also, the focus was on debugging and troubleshooting. And yeah, the difficulty level, I'll say it's medium to medium difficult, not too easy, not something which
Agreed.
cannot be cracked at all. Yeah, but and along with that, if you do see the job description, समटाइम्स वी फील दैट मैंने तो अच्छा दिया था इंटरव्यू, मैंने तो सारे एसिंक्रोनस एपेक्स के क्वेश्चंस के आंसर दे दिए थे, ट्रिगर भी लिख दिया था, सॉकेल भी लिख दिया था, लेकिन फिर भी मेरा हुआ नहीं सिलेक्शन. सो द मोस्ट प्रोबेबल रीजन फॉर दैट कैन बी कि जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन, इफ यू गो थ्रू, देन देर आर मैनी टॉपिक्स विच आर लिस्टेड इन द जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन. देर इज प्लेटफॉर्म इवेंट्स, there is packaging, there is metadata API, there is deployments, there is yeah, so these are some of the extra topics which are part of the job description. Now if you are the interviewer and you ask me that are you aware of platform events, अगर मैं सीधा मना कर देता हूँ, or if I say that no, I have not worked on that particular thing in my project, so I will skip that particular area itself, right? So which makes completely zero.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I agree. Going
if
through,
I see that I do have an idea, then it will be considered and it will increase the chances of selection,
100%.
considering that you have idea of more number of topics.
Right, right. That's I also kind of recommend these kind of things. Like, first, be very truthful to your resume, whatever you have written in your resume, and whatever you are saying that you know, you should be able to tell those things at least, and then going through job descriptions properly, because that contains almost everything which they are going to ask. So in a way, what you have written in your resume and what you have in your job description tells you that what they are going to ask if you prepare properly. And again, completely saying no to a topic will obviously trim down your chances, because then they'll have to skip the topic, otherwise there is no chance. So, and platform events and
Correct.
change data capture are very important from the debugging. Are in a way you can say that they are advanced things, and a lot of governor limits can be
Correct.
avoided because of them. So go through them. It is going to be very helpful. Uh, One more question. A lot of
Yes,
developers
sure, Mohit.
ping me. I get a lot of messages on LinkedIn. They say that, sir, I am a developer. If I join for this role, success engineer, what are my chances in future that when I want to switch back to development, will there be any difficulties? Now, you are currently working as a support engineer, so you obviously have not switched yet, but have you seen those trend in your organization? Are people changing back from support to developers frequently, or they are facing difficulties? If you can answer, very good. If you cannot, that is completely okay.
Yeah, so first thing, in the start of the interview itself, I mentioned that before joining this particular role, you should have a mindset that am I liking, I mean, for example, you should be aware that what am I going to do. It should not happen that once you are joined the organization, but पूरे दिन मेरे दिमाग में अगर यही चल रहा है कि अरे यार मैं तो कोड कर ही नहीं रहा हूँ, मैं तो यार डेवलपर था पिछले प्रोजेक्ट में, मैं तो कोड कर ही नहीं रहा हूँ, then it will hamper your productivity in this particular role as well. You will not be able to succeed in this particular role as well, because आपके बैक ऑफ द माइंड में वही वही चीज़ चल रही है कि मैं तो डेवलपमेंट कर ही नहीं रहा हूँ, बट मुझे तो डेवलपमेंट करना था, मैं कहाँ आके फंस गया. So that is the one thing you should be very clear that you are in completely technical only, but you are not only, I mean, you will not be the one who will do coding, but you will be the one who have to understand the customer implementation, or whoever has raised the case, you have to understand his or her implementations quickly. The more technically sound you are, the more quicker you will be able to understand whatever the implementation or scenario is there in front of you, and you will be able to quickly help someone. Now talking to that how difficult it is to switch back to a developer role. So I'll say that there are enough number of internal opportunities as well. There is a technical consultant role which brings you to the Salesforce developer track if you want to. Again, all these things are you need to discuss prior with your manager, and I'll see that whether all these things align you. You have to check whether you have right kind of skill set to apply for the interview. There is also MTS sales role as well, which is very similar to SD1 kind of role on which they work on Salesforce platform itself. So again, you need to do certain level of preparation for that interview, because the process will be same, right? Even though if you apply internally, there will be again interview conducted, there will be skill assessment, and that will completely be in discretion and discussion with your manager. So you have to channelize it properly. Yes, of course, I've seen a lot of guys who uh, join, but after some time they do feel that this is not something they want to do, or they want to get back into development. So yeah, they do switch back after maybe after 12 months or 6 months, depending upon their how much they are able to adjust or not. So it is not impossible to switch back.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
if you have a proper mindset before joining itself, then it will be very useful.
Perfect. Is there any time frame like before 18 months you cannot switch internally within Salesforce or something like that?
So yeah, as far as I know, it is 12 months that you need to be there in a particular job role for minimum 12 months. After 12 months, you can apply after discussing it with your manager. And yeah, so the time frame is 12 months.
Okay. Guys, my suggestion also is pretty much similar that even though you will not be building from scratch, you will be looking into and you will be debugging a lot of good code. So if you have a learning mindset, you want to learn, Salesforce has given you ample amount of tools. You can build on your DevOps. You can continue your development skill on your own as well because you will have access to a lot of things which you will not get otherwise. There are so much you can do in this role, to be very frank. And again, it obviously it is your choice if you want to go back to Salesforce development, and there is nothing which will stop you. You can 100% go and crack other roles. Uh, Maybe it also depends on the market situation, your current CTC and everything, but there are a lot of roles available. Now, coming to the perks of it, I want you to list down three major perks and then three major challenges.
Okay, so the perks are, as in you are saying company wise perks or role wise, what good things I know about this role,
You
that you
can
are
you
asking,
can
or
you
company
can
wise?
you can combine them and put top three.
Okay, so the good things which I like about this role is that you will get to learn a lot of things, a lot of product areas which you will not get as a Salesforce developer if those things are not used in your project. For example, when I used to work in my past project in persistent systems, वहाँ पे LWC यूज ही नहीं होता था. So I did not get hands on LWC before. I had to self learn it, right? So that is one thing. Then there are many such product topics like packaging is there, and CRM analytics is there, platform events is there. Then a lot of new product topics are there which are not being used in your, which may or may not be used in your project. But if you are here as a support engineer, technical support engineer, or developer success engineer, you will have to get good hands on those topics as well, because you may see the customer issues, or you may see implementation issues. You may see someone has raised some developer has raised, or some architect has raised a case with Salesforce, and they are asking assistance on that particular topic. So at that time you cannot say that I don't have idea of that particular topic, because you will be the face of Salesforce, right?
Right, right.
So that is one good thing about this role, if I say technical point of view. Then another thing is that, as I said, that if you are someone who wants a very good blend of technical plus communication related aspect, and if you are aspiring for project management or technical support management, or customer success manager, or those kind of roles, or business analyst, or those kind of role, if Salesforce consultant. So the paths for all these roles may go through this particular role itself. You will learn a lot about platform. You will your definitely your client handling skills, your communication skills, your uh, understanding of the business, and empathizing it with someone who is going through that particular issue. collaborating it, debugging it, all these skills will improve a lot, which will help you a lot if your objective suits to what I just mentioned right now.
Yep, yep.
Coming to company perks, I'll say that it is very rewarding. There are many things. There is medical insurance. There is education reimbursement as well, wherein companies providing 3.5 lakh of reimbursement if you enroll into various university courses or degree programs. So there is a list of things that they have tie up with, and you can, they may be technical or non-technical courses. You can discuss it with your manager, and uh, so yeah, 3.5 lakh is not a small amount. It is very good perk. Along with that, there is food, there is medical insurance, and there are a lot many things. I'll give you a website which just 1 minute.
100%. We will tag it on the comment as well. And what about Salesforce goodies? Many people are interested.
Yeah. So yeah, so Salesforce goodies is something that you will get many times. You may get hoodie as well. You may get cap as well. You may get cups as well. So there are many things. I just tagged one website over chat. You can just open it and go through that. There are many things. So
So
yeah.
I'm going to put it on comment, guys. First pin comment. You can go through the benefits you will get as you join for this role. Now, coming to the challenges, we have discussed a couple of challenges like uh, this will be 24/7 environment, so you'll have to be comfortable with that, and you will obviously get a lot of technical issues, and there will be times when you issue might be beyond your skill set as well, and you will have to collaborate internally or need to have expert opinion on something. Do you get any kind of issues which is beyond your or you say that, okay, I haven't seen it, I might need to go to somebody to understand this? What happens like that?
Yeah, so for example, as soon as you have logged the case with Salesforce, given a particular scenario you are having facing with something with packaging or flows or batch class or anything like that. So from our end, we will do all the possible troubleshooting using all the possible resources which we have in open source or which we have in our hand only. So we'll do all the kinds of troubleshooting, and everything we'll do from our end, whatever thing we have. If it is something which is going beyond us, then we will reach out to the R&D team or the product team who is working on that particular product topic itself, mentioning them all the things which we have. And yeah, so we have to collaborate with them, and we have to tell them that what all things we have tried. And yeah, there is a certain process aligned to it. We have to follow that particular process and collaborate with them. Along with that, uh, there will be technical account manager also who may take follow up from you, or who may ask you that how the things are going on that particular, or how much time it may take to resolve the issue, or where we are currently. There may be account executive also, that who is managing that particular account and licenses purchase. He may reach out to you, so you may have to collaborate with all of them. At the same time, you may have to be on top of it and make sure that the person who has raised the case, he is also sync in all these things which are happening. And
Yeah.
yeah.
I must say here that Salesforce support is one of the best support I've ever seen, because every time I go on chat, whenever we face any issue, I immediately get a response. I immediately get my case created, and I most of the time get resolved at well on the same day. So I had a very good experience with Salesforce support. In my current organization, also we are premium partners, so we always get very good support. Now, a lot of new students start learning Salesforce at fourth year old itself. Do we hire freshers as well for this role? And if we do hire, then what, like, is there any different process than we hire for the experienced candidate?
So for fresher, I'll say that Salesforce is hiring through a program which is called as Future Force, in which Salesforce reaches out to universities. They have a certain universities and uh, list with them. They reach out to those universities, and they conduct this particular hiring drive on their campuses. So I mean, freshers, there is a job posting also which is posted. Freshers do reach out to me, and it's a DM that we want a referral, but unfortunately that freshers hires them through that particular job posting, but after going through their campuses itself. So that is one thing. And yeah, for the ones who are learning in the fourth year itself, so I'll say that they should be, focusing on the rather than going on particular technology and jumping into learning that technology, they should be, more focused with all the basics that should be clear, because they may or they may not get opportunity to work on Salesforce platform. For example, if you joined as a system engineer in TCS as a fresher, so TCS, or any service based company, they just put the freshers in various domains. They may get in QA, they may get into Salesforce.
Yeah, yeah,
One who,
100%, 100%.
yeah, so
So,
that is the thing that is there.
yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay, any closing remarks or suggestions you want to give to those people who are looking for job and preparing for this role? And what we have already discussed, that debugging and all the basics should be very important. Any closing remark? Like when somebody asks me, I have interview 2 days, after 2 days, what I should do? I tell them that okay, go through order of execution, governor limits, and latest release notes, whichever, let's say, launched in the Salesforce, whichever are your strong areas, try to at least go through the release notes for that. What is your recommendation for the people who are looking for job in this role?
Yeah, so the first thing is that don't just apply or switch that if you don't have any other offer. I just want the offer and I just want to get into. And so just be mentally prepared with yourself with all the things that, I mean, what this particular role is in and out. I just explained right now. So have these things in your mind that even if you are selected, then this is the particular thing that I'll be doing, and I'm ready for it, and or I'm really interested in this particular industry. This is one thing. Second thing is that the as you mentioned that the strong areas, the ones areas which are very strong areas or async apex is something that you have worked a lot upon. Try to brush up on all those things, and along with that, along with the development topics, just try to play around with some debugging scenarios as well. That if what happens if I try to call one feature from another, what exception will come, and all those things. I mean, the focus should be equally on debugging side as well while
Yes,
preparing
I
for it.
agree. I once gave an interview for this role many years ago. I think that was around 2016, 17, and I got a lot of questions on aggregate query. I got a lot of questions on debugging, like you have got the 1500 lines debug log. How will you debug it? If you go through line by line, how will you debug it? And my debugging skills were not good, of course. And I told them, okay, I will put some debug log on my code. Then he countered it by saying, this is in production. You do not have option to put debug log. So he kind of grilled me there, but it was a very good interview. I got selected there. Unfortunately, I was not able to join due to location, but I would have enjoyed joining there and learning all those debugging skills. So I hope everybody you'll enjoy this. You will find this helpful, and feel free to ping us on LinkedIn, or I'm going to put the handle on the LinkedIn. And thank you so much, Karan, for joining me here and making everybody aware about this role. And I hope people will not bombard your inbox with a lot of questions, and we will try to address them over chat as well. So if you have any question, feel free to put it on chat, and we will try to feel free to put it on comment box, and we will try to answer as well. Thank you so much, Karan, for joining, and have a lovely day ahead. And we'll talk over phone asynchronously. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Mohit, for inviting me.